Alright, fuck it. I'm starting early. Let me put out these posts on social media and then I will get right to the deed. Alright, we're ready. Let's go. What's up, guys? I'm in quite a bit more of a serious mood today than I was even last time, because last time I was talking chiefly about Israel-Palestine, but the situation had only just begun to sort of unfold there. And well, now it seems like it's not just unfolding, it's unraveling, and all sorts of terrible things are going down. You know, this music is very not fitting of what has been happening, but it's whatever. I'm gonna take a drink. I might take off my sweatshirt and then I'll get into it. I just need to I need to breathe for a minute. I need to take a breather. Alright. Give me 1 second. Alright. What's up, 1v3? Got the heater going in my room, so I will have a source of heat. Okay. Last time, where I left off in Pokemon, I just caught Abra, I just caught Whismur. What did you just drop into? Well, it's Pokemon, but I just want to give a quick rundown of the situation in-game so I can get to the meat of the matter, which is politics. Urgent politics. Unfortunately, not of the kind that anybody in our position, being in a Western country outside of the conflict, is in an especially good place to do anything about. You know, a lot of the developments that I'm going to be talking about are seems like they would have happened whether we were involved in, like, protest and lobbying or not. But regardless, they are happening, oh, oops, sorry, that's a video I was editing. Let me close that out. The war continues to rage in Gaza, in Palestine broadly, in Israel, just in that region. It seems like there's it's conflict all the time, but especially now. I've been following the situation live. Things have only gotten worse. There have only been more civilian casualties, more apartments flattened, etc., etc. Yeah, big sad hit. And apparently, as the title of the stream indicates, Israel wanted this to happen. They knew it was coming. So, I saw this from a Twitter account, but I made sure to confirm it. We have here from Ragip Soylu. This is a Turkish journalist, I believe. His bio says Turkey Bureau Chief for Middle East Eye. And I made sure to confirm what he's about to say has been confirmed by the New York Post and the Times of Israel, as well as, I think, the Jerusalem Post. Not the most reputable newspapers out there, and they definitely, you know, with their right-wing bend, they framed it in a way that's more sympathetic to Israel. But nonetheless, breaking. Egyptian intelligence minister called Netanyahu 10 days before the Hamas attack and warned him of, quote, something unusual, a terrible operation that was about to take place in Gaza. Egyptians were, quote, surprised by the indifference shown by Netanyahu, end quote. Yedioth Aronoth? I believe that would be the, who this is attributed to? This is a thread, it seems. Netanyahu's office denied the Egyptian party's claim, saying that the report of a warning that came from Egypt before the outbreak of the war is incorrect and false. We know that it's not false. It's been verified by different news outlets, one of which being within Israel itself. This is just Netanyahu talking shit. Netanyahu's office of prime minister has not spoken or met with the Egyptian intelligence chief since the formation of the government, neither indirectly nor directly. senior Israeli political official on the Egyptian report. Not only was there no message to the contrary, the Egyptians pressed in favor of Hamas and increased the quota of workers and act for the civilian relief. This is an example of doublespeak. They said the Israeli government here is saying two contradictory things. Number one is Egypt did not contact us at all, did not have any contact with us beforehand. And then number two, Egypt was actually egging on Hamas, which they would have had to be in contact with Egypt to understand this, to know this. So you cannot have one and also have the other. But if I go back into my search history here a little ways, here we go. New York Post. Egyptian intelligence official says Israel ignored warnings of, quote, something big. Here we go. Let me see if I can't find a source on this. Well, I mean, I have a source. It's the New York Post, but it's not the best source in the world. Look, I think for me, it's enough to corroborate that an outlet that would otherwise, and still is, vehemently pro-Israel is reporting something so damning to Israel. They have every reason to not report this. It seems like this is, very likely it seems that this is what all happened. I'm gonna, retweet this, I think. And if I fell for misinfo, then I fell for misinfo, but it really does seem like this is the case. So with that established, that this is the phone call that went on between Egyptian intelligence and Netanyahu. Not too unlikely. Yeah, I intend to assume that this is true. I don't have any reason to disbelieve this. Obviously, Israel and Egypt do not like each other, but I think Egypt does have its own security concerns in the region, and I don't think Egypt particularly likes Hamas either. It wouldn't surprise me either way, I guess. Let's see here. Yeah, actually, if I go back to the search, we have the Times of Israel, the New York Post, the Daily Kos, India Today is reporting this. If India Today confirms this, and that's really damning, because India, I don't know if you know this, but India is very, very pro-Israel by virtue of how much they hate Muslims. So if India is even saying, yeah, they got the call and didn't do anything about it, I think that basically confirms that this is real. Yeah, pun, Israel. Now a report by the news agency Associated Press. Oh, it's over. Okay, it's real. If the Associated Press was reporting this, then that means it's definitely real. Yeah. So now that's all over and done with. Why? Why did Israel ignore these warnings when Egypt gave them? Why did Israel dismiss this out of hand? The reason is more simple than you might initially think. A lot of people succumb to this this trap where they sort of assume that politics is always very complicated. And let's be clear that on the logistical level, on a descriptive level, and understanding the situation as it now exists, and in terms of technocratic concerns around, well, how do we construct this and this policy? Politics is always complicated. There's never a simple solution. However, politics as a debate around moral standards and ethics is not very complicated. This is what I would call informed simplicity. Israel is just evil. The state of Israel, I mean no slander to any of the citizens in Israel necessarily, unless they are abhorrent people who want to kill all Palestinians, but the state of Israel, its government, is evil. And the reason that Israel received this call and then ignored or downplayed these warnings, or rather were indifferent to the warnings, as the tweet thread reported from that Turkish fella, is because Israel was sort of waiting for an excuse. Israel has been conducting an ethnic cleansing in Palestine for 70 years. Ever since the State of Israel was established, they have been further pushing into Palestinian territory and, you know, quartering them off from any outside assistance, any outside help, driving people mad in the thousands, driving people to the point of doing terrifying things, unthinkable things, irrational things. And I think Israel was just waiting for an excuse to sort of push the envelope. They, you know, things were they were slow. They were almost painfully slow, I guess, from the perspective of Israel. They wanted to eradicate the Palestinians a little bit quicker. So when they get wind of an impending attack from Hamas, that instead of them having the opportunity to stop the attack before it occurs, or to, God forbid, de-escalate and stop, you know, committing an ethnic cleansing, instead the government under Netanyahu saw that as an opportunity to claim victim status, almost like the United States did after 9/11, and to then go into Gaza and, well, not going to mince words, to conduct a mass slaughter of civilians that just happen to be Palestinian, and that is the reason why they you know, want to kill them. It really is like, there really isn't that complicated of an explanation for this, other than there are so many Hitler particles in the Israeli government right now. There's a lot of Hitler particles in Hamas as well. They're an Islamic Jihad group. What would you expect? But, you know, they're not the only one fighting this fight. All of Palestine is considered the enemy by Israel. The Israeli government has declared war against Palestine. And Netanyahu gleefully posted a video to Twitter. Here we have the Irish Socialist Party quote tweeting him with you know, some thoughts that I sympathize with. I translated the tweet earlier, but I'll translate it again. We started is where Israel will win, and the footage here is of residential buildings being destroyed, bombed, and things like that. It continues for over a minute. I'm not going to play the full thing. You guys get the idea. I don't want to run into something that's even more TOS than what I've already showed. The desire to fight Israel here, let me be clear. The desire to fight Israel on the part of any Palestinian group is completely justified. It almost doesn't even need a justification if you want to fight Israel, the state. Now, killing civilians is in no way justifiable. This is where I would do the obligatory condemnation of Hamas and the Islamic Jihad group. Yeah, India's actually the most discriminating country in the world. Took a weird amount of time to find that word in my mind. Yeah, India really, really heavily discriminates against ethnic minorities, against like caste minorities, against religious minorities. You know, and currently they have a nationalist party in power. And so they love Israel. They love Israel because Israel is the apartheid state that India wishes it could be. But it also came to my attention recently, in addition to the fact that, you know, Israel had actually planned for this possibility. They got impending news of the Hamas attack 10 days before it occurred. And elected to let it happen and simply do retaliatory strikes against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. It is not just Hamas fighting here. That came to my attention. There is also, apparently, there are more militant groups than just them fighting the IDF. One of them being the PFLP. The People's Front for the Liberation of Palestine. They now I'm gonna preface this by saying that, like, as far as membership of militant groups, the DFLP and the PFLP, the two groups that I believe are more justified in what they are fighting for and the tactics they use, they are in the minority, but I don't think that their presence should at all be discounted here. The PFLP, I saw a report from Al Jazeera. The PFLP is actually fighting, I believe, with Lebanon. Yeah, here we go. It mentions them in this news article here. They're not very big, but the branches of existing militant factions of Palestinians in Lebanon, one of them being Hamas, but the other being the PFLP, and also Fatah, which I believe is like the current Palestinian government or something like that. They're not big enough to sustain a war effort against Israel on their own. And I should add that neither is Hamas, really. The Israeli security apparatus is far, far too big for any combination of Palestinian militant groups to handle on their own. They would need outside help. And not just, like, Iranian outside help, either. I have no doubt that Iran is, like, I don't know, in talks with Hamas at the very least, whatever, but Iran is not the driving force here. It is Israel. Israel has, at the end of the day, the ultimate power over whatever happens within the land they dictate to be Israel. They have the biggest stick, and they are very liberal about swinging it how they please. And Iran has never been in an especially advantageous position to stop them from doing that. That is no more the case today than it was last year, the year before that, the year before that, the decade before that, etc. That is the situation on the ground in Palestine. I hold out some vain hope in the back of my mind that the DFLP and the PFLP, the Democratic and People's Liberation Fronts for Palestine, can gain some sort of ground or standing here in this assault. And that they are the ones that eventually come to the forefront. But unfortunately, it seems like that is not going to be the case. And if I'm being realistic, the one place that I think that this can lead, I think I was, unduly optimistic with prescribing what should happen, or even, in some cases what could happen. It looks like the United States is remaining resolute in its support for Israel, even as Israel greases the wheels for genocide more and more, and brags about leveling civilian apartment buildings in Gaza. To put it bluntly, I think Israel is going to get the genocide that they wanted. Yanked and spanked. Yeah. Welcome to chat, and yes, that is what I think is going to happen here. I don't see any other possible outcome at this stage. And to any Palestinians that there might be out there, you have to admit there's a difference between bombing a house and hitting civilians. Yes, I do have to admit that there is a difference. However, there is no difference if the civilians are still in the house. Hope that helps. And then beheading and raping civilians. Yes, and to be clear, I do not condone Hamas's actions in that respect at all. I've seen the videos. But what's going on right now is that Israel, there's a massive imbalance of power. And Israel has all the power. Hamas, for lack of a better way of putting it, is flailing more or less incoherently, doing like any war crime they can get their hands on, while Israel, like I explained earlier, you might not have been here for this since you just joined chat, Israel knew of the Hamas attack 10 days in advance because of the Egyptian intelligence minister called them. The report that I saw initially was pretty sketchy, but I then confirmed that is really what happened. The Associated Press was reporting on it. Israel knew that Hamas was going to do those things that you just described, and they decided, instead of stopping Hamas, we will instead let this happen. Presumably, the only reasonable presumption would be because they wanted a pretext to be able to invade the Gaza Strip and bomb the civilian apartment buildings that, videos have been circulating about on social media. And I don't know if you were here, again, I showed a video where Netanyahu said, we started, Israel will win, over a video of several apartment buildings in the Gaza Strip being leveled by Israeli strikes. So we have two groups full of Hitler particles, and one of them holds all the cards right now. And that group is Israel. Hamas doesn't hold really any cards. The hell, they had to drop, their air force consists of a few drones and a guy sitting on a chair with a paraglider. Are you kidding me? What country would not retaliate in this situation? A country that didn't want to commit genocide, right? And when you say retaliate, 5,000 rockets, probably 1K dead. Of course people are fucking dead. Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't think you properly understand the situation here. Israel has been occupying Palestine for more than 60 years. They've more than 70 years. Before Hamas, it was the PLO. Before the PLO, it was somebody else. I don't know, too much about the history in that region. There's always going to be militant resistance in Palestine if you do what Israel has been doing. They've been driving people to suicide, to murder. They've been giving them no way out. And you're saying, oh, what is Israel going to do? Not retaliate? Yes! That is exactly what I expect out of Israel. You cunt. No, they don't. They have 2 members in the Knesset. I read a report on that yesterday. The Muslim politicians in the Knesset are as mad at this as I am, probably more so, because they've had to experience this firsthand. You have the rights of a citizen. Muslims in Israel are second-class citizens. They have to have separate license plates. They have to go through checkpoints. They cannot go where they please. You are the oppressor here. You are the Hitler in this situation. I even said there are 2 Hitlers. One of them holds all the cards. You are part of the side that is holding all the cards, and you're saying, what am I supposed to do? Not genocide the Palestinians? Yes, that is what you're supposed to do. You dumbass. What happened to the... Oh, you're gonna whataboutism this now? You're gonna whataboutism, huh? That's not addressing my argument, you dumb fuck. I'm really not in the mood for this right now. Have a timeout. I'm sorry, man. I didn't ban him. I don't want to ban him. He didn't do overt genocide apologia, but felt like I should stop him just short of that. Jesus Christ. This makes me lose my temper a lot. I genuinely don't understand how there are liberals, which I assume that guy is some flavor of liberal in his political prescription, in Israel, but also in the West, who can look at the violence going on in Palestine and in Israel and just say that, like, Israel is blanket justified in the things that it's doing. That, like, people are dying from a myriad of causes. I saw, videos about this before. I've seen that, like, the Palestinians literally don't have access to food and water. Israel is taking water from them. Water that even on paper, like even with the international law being so heavily slated towards Israel, it's still not enough for them. They're taking water that's supposed to go to Palestinians. Less than 1 in 10 Palestinians have access to clean drinking water. They're not just dying from mortar attacks, from Israeli strikes, from, like, bombings and whatever causes. They're dying from starvation, from thirst. They're being exposed to the elements because Israel is using deprivation more than anything as a weapon against Palestine. And people are in here in chat telling me that, like, Palestine is in the wrong and Israel is within its rights to retaliate and destroy civilian apartment buildings. No, I don't accept this. Christ, man. Ugh. If ever there were proof that no God exists, whether you believe that or not, I only meant to invoke it as a turn of phrase there. Our old president is a liberal too. He's showing how important it is that Israel should be defended at all costs, calm but serious. Yeah, it's disappointing that, I guess it's not especially surprising the response that a lot of Western nations have taken to this. I remember I saw just yesterday on a CBS News report that the United States is flying the flag at half-staff in solidarity with Israel. So it seems like the West is committed to letting Israel have their genocide and eat it too, which is a damn shame. Because there are millions of people that are gonna be hurt by this. And by the way, even at this stage, this did not have to happen. even at this latest stage in the game, this was not the worst possible outcome. It might have been the worst, like, it might have been the only reasonable outcome that could have happened that or be predicted. But there were ways out of this. I think, whatever your thoughts on Vaush, I think he's right when he says that, like, there is a solution to this conflict. It's going to be painful whatever road we choose, but there is a way out if you do, like, a two-state solution. You do land swaps, you try to negotiate settlers out of certain regions and relocate people within Israel, Palestine, and try to simmer things down, right? That is possible from a policy perspective. These are actionable things that politicians could be writing down on paper and committing themselves to, and using diplomatic influence to try to convince Israel to get on board, or else use sanctions and boycott and divest and etc. But that's not what's happening, and it seems like the international community doesn't have terribly much interest in making that happen. You know, last time, somebody was in chat, that guy Akashi, shoutouts to that guy. And he was saying that, like, peace is not possible, or, like, he's not interested in peace offerings. Something to that degree. And at the time, I was thinking, yes, bro, the people who got the Nobel Prize for Peace working with Palestine, trying to get some stuff done, are all gone now. Fuck, man. You know, somebody who was in chat last time was saying that, like, they're not interested in peace offerings, I think is close to what they said. I don't remember exactly, but it was something like that. Some have been killed. Yeah, Israel. There's even the worse parts of that in a minute that you know, if you can even believe it. And I think now, you know, even just a day out, I think they're right. I think, you know, I think that peace isn't an option here. I think it's like, it's just, I don't think Palestinians have any obligation to be interested in peace right now, because Israel has clearly shown that they're not interested. So, you know. And it seems like one, you know, just the one last thing, and then I'll get to the, you know, Nobel Peace Prize and the other thing that I wanted to mention. It seems like the Western media has also been, like, not terribly interested in extending any charitability to the Palestinians. That, like, all the interviews that I've seen with Palestinian protesters and with pro-Palestine protesters outside of Palestine, with Palestinian government officials and journalists and whatever, have all started with the interview were saying, do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? It's not enough that you say, like, war crimes are bad. Do you condemn Hamas specifically? Basically trying to pigeonhole them into this role that doesn't really exist, where they are simultaneously, like, on the receiving end of Israel's military force, and also somehow at fault for their own oppression. And you know, I don't think people have any obligation to engage with that framing. And it seems like, you know, from the interviews that I've seen, that people are wise to this, because they've been in this discussion for much longer than I have. And that, you know, I can only imagine you hear that question so many times and you just want to lose it. Yeah, Nobel Peace Prize. Let's see. Palestine Peace Prize. Nobel Peace Prize. Killed. Where was it? Israel's still a very dangerous enemy, especially if they get all the help they could get. The Russian-Ukrainian war has a lot of losses and destruction, but at least Ukraine ain't a winning psycho, winning danger. Yeah, and I think that, like, people only need to look to the Ukraine-Russia conflict if they need any sort of moral instruction on what the case is here. It's just that the Russia-Ukraine war has only been going on for about a year, and then this has been, or actually longer than a year, it's like a year and a half, and then this has been going on for decades. You know, you have a larger, more powerful nation, Russia, or in this case Israel, that is aggressing on its smaller neighbor, Ukraine, or in this case Palestine, with the intent of absorbing them and doing God knows what to the people living there. Granted, the socioeconomic economic circumstances of each of these countries is a bit different, but the core elements are the same, and the moral positions should be the same. You know, if you support Ukraine because it's bad for a bigger country to invade its neighbor, or just countries to invade their neighbors in general, then you should support Palestine. You shouldn't, you know, you shouldn't defend Israel when this is happening. And that doesn't mean you should support Hamas either. So many people make that sort of campus tribalist mistake. But to what you were saying about, like, people being 1 2/3 of a year. Yeah, that's right. It's been like a year and 8 months. Been going on for a while now. But I saw Israel has declared its intention for a ground invasion of Gaza. Here, hold on. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Look how insane Israel is here. Oh, oops. Israeli army. This is 49 minutes ago. Israeli army says attacks on Gaza will continue even if harm reaches captives. The Israeli army radio has reported that military airstrikes on Gaza will continue even if that bombardment threatens the lives of Israeli captives. Attacks on the Gaza Strip will be carried out powerfully and widely, even at the cost of harming Israeli hostages who are in captivity in Gaza. This is a quote from the Israeli military. The report, however, clarified that Israeli forces would avoid attacking areas where intelligence indicates captives are being held. I sincerely doubt they care that much. You know, obviously, I think there's a matter of course to be introduced where, you know, Israel says, like, well, of course we're not going to bomb the areas where our people are. But the fact that they're willing to still bomb Gaza and still invade Gaza and be like, yeah, well, we don't fully know where all the hostages are, and maybe they get hurt too, but we don't really care. I think that's indicative of the moral character of the actors that we're dealing with. I think, you know, the activity of or the act of taking captives in a war is less morally condemnable, certainly, than killing people. In fact, it's less of something that I would feel the need to condemn or even comment upon. But in this case, it seems like Hamas is doing that because it's the only leverage they have. And now Israel is saying, nah, just kidding. You don't even have that leverage. We'll kill our own citizens if it means that we eradicate Palestine faster. Man. I wonder where that guy went. Oh, he was a bot. Yeah. Christ, man. It's about the only, that's really all I had to inject on the situation. To recap, Israel was planning this assault in advance, or was planning for this assault in advance by Hamas. They wanted it to happen so that they would have a pretext to invade Gaza. I learned that Hamas is not the only active militant group fighting against Israel currently. There are also some better orgs. The PFLP and the DFLP are Marxist, Leninist, and Maoist respectively, which I have disagreements with. That on another day I might call them tankies, but their goals are certainly much better for Palestine than either Hamas or Israel. So in this case, I think I would support their mission. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they have a lot of power. It looks like Israel is eager to commit their genocide. The West is willing to let them. And, you know, Israel doesn't even care if its own citizens get in the way. Not that much, anyways. And I think I will leave my initial assessment there. I have the live updates page open in another tab, and I'm going to periodically check on that as the stream continues. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have any other politics planned for this stream. But, you know, I think this alone should be enough for this stream. It certainly is enough for my conscience. In the meantime, I'll try to, yeah, what a shame indeed. In the meantime, I'll try to at least lighten the mood a little bit and play some Pokemon, because it's a game that I quite enjoy. And remember, Palestine should be free. Palestinians should be free. And so should Israelis. You have to remember, you know, we should all be humanitarians. For our own sanity, if nothing else. You remember something? What's up? You can take your time too. It's like when I edit segments and stuff, it's I can have like gaps between. Slovakia has a new leader. Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that. A pro-Putin leader. Yeah, I saw that too. Here, hold on. Let me Slovakia elections 2023. Far right. Yeah. Here we go. Oh wow, look at that. What a nice social democratic party leader. I wonder what their policy prescriptions and what ideology they support. Wait, what? Dog, what the fuck? I must be thinking of a different one. The Poland, Czechia, Slovakia, Hungary clan getting scarier and scarier. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Memes aside, I was thinking of another party. But yeah, this guy is part of the pro-Putin party. They are us. I don't know how solidly social democratic they are, if they're like a social democratic party that happens to support Putin, or if it's like they're a pro-Putin party first and foremost, and they kind of slap the social democracy on top of that in like, I don't know, news appearances or whatever. Let's see, there's foundation, government, opposition. Yeah, I don't know. Foreign policy, social policy. Okay, no, yeah, you're right. They're just far right. They're just far right. Social policy. The party holds strongly conservative views on social issues with a record of anti-queer, anti-Romani, Islamophobic, and anti-immigration statements. It proclaims its strong opposition to liberalism and progressivism, advocating traditional family values and running for the patriotic electorate. Yeah, okay. So they're just a, like, Nazbol party, kind of. Good thing we have Germany as our defending wall against the Christian sandwich out there. Double history reference. I'm not sure I get it, but I am almost positive that that's a very clever joke, and I think it's well structured and etc. Oh, I know what I was thinking of. Here, hold on. Czech Social Democratic Party. Here, wow, what a nice left-leaning social democratic party. I wonder what their wait, hang on. Fuck, wrong party again. God damn it. Check. Where is it? God damn it. I'm committed to this joke. I want to get it right. It's an orange one, right? Is it this one? Oh, hold on. Fuck, I'm probably thinking of something else. God dang it. Well, you know the joke. Haha, Social Democratic Party. Look inside. Far-right nationalists. Etc., etc. Many such cases. I don't know if there's actually that many of those, to disclaim. But there's at least one, and that's funny enough for me, and also kind of unfortunate because reasons. There's actually a party like that in Ukraine, believe it or not. There was, yeah, who saw that one coming? There was, at the outset of the Ukraine war, there was a party that calls itself the Social Democratic Party of Ukraine or whatever. But they were actually like a pro-Putin Nazbol party, and they were like pro-Putin as the invasion was happening. So they were banned. They were one of the, I think, 2 political parties that were banned from Ukrainian politics. In fact, let me see if I can find it. Ukraine. No, that's not the right one. It's not the... It doesn't call itself the Noswell Party. It's like Ukraine Social Democrat. Was it this one? No. That's a different thing. It was like, it had like a blue flag and then a red flower and some Cyrillic text and like a hammer and sickle or something. It was like, as far as party iconography goes, it was like benign enough. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, Social Democrats, maybe they're classical Social Democrats. They have the hammer and sickle, and they have like a rose and stuff. That's nice. And then you look at their politics and it's like, oh, they just like Russia. Okay. Many such cases. Yeah, I think it seems that the wave of far right parties in I would say in Europe, but this applies to more places than just Europe, is continuing. The Slovakian elections are one example of that. I can only hope that their government will collapse. This is actually one positive thing, one silver lining I can inject into this talk of the Slovak elections, is that fascist parties tend to be very incompetent at governance. To which end they either end up collapsing, their government ends up collapsing, like what happened in the Netherlands or in Finland, or they end up moderating and become more mainstream neoconservative nationalist parties. Should do a world countries quiz on stream. Yeah, I could do that. I think if I remember my geography, I would probably get most of them right. I want to level grind for a little bit longer. To get like some Pokemon to level 15 at least, and then I'll go and do that quiz. Yeah. Okay. Level 14. What is I don't have any rare candies, do I? No, I don't. That's unfortunate. How much out of 197? I don't think I would get all 197 right, but I would come close. I would come decently close. Which is not a lean feat, considering I am American. Okay, it seems like I'm getting a little bit more EXP from these Pokemon here than from the Pokemon outside, so maybe I'll do that. Or maybe not. I don't know, man. Wait, what am I doing? There's actually another route beyond the city here, Greg. I'll try checking what my score will be after these months. Yeah, it's always good to know your geography. You know. Part of being an informed citizen. Okay. Try to get this guy. I'll get this guy to level 15 and then I'll do the quiz. Sai. The wizard. The reason I'm having to do this bait and switch thing with Abra is because it doesn't learn any attacking moves until level 16, which is unfortunate. But I think the payoff is worth it. Alakazam is such a good Pokemon. You know, so I wanted to have it for my party. That's an Abra. It's just gonna teleport. It's gonna teleport, and I don't have long now, just a little bit more. I need like 1 or 2 more. Hey, there we go. Okay, level 15. Let me go heal and then I'll do the quiz. Alright, I'm gonna switch you with... Okay, look, save. Alright. World Geography Quiz. It's gonna be, which one is it? It's... This one? No. There's one that I'm looking for in particular, where you click on the countries. Your world map. Oh, GeoGuessr. Okay, there we go. World large countries? No. World. World UN member states? 220 plus countries and territories. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna need to... Okay, Zimbabwe. That's this. That's... Never mind. Got literally the first one wrong. Kiribati? I have no clue what this one is. I'm gonna... Oh, no way, I was actually kind of close. Okay, yeah. Sao Tome and Principe? I actually know this one. Yeah. Nauru. I have a feeling that would be here somewhere. No. Well, my intuition was right, but I didn't know exactly. Vanuatu? These are all Polynesian island nations. Oh, wow, I actually got it on the second try. Greece is here. North Korea is there. Iceland is... Oh, no. Is here. Guadeloupe. Fuck. I have to zoom way in for this. Oh, okay. It's one of these Caribbean islands. The islands really are here to get you. Yeah, I'm not going to know the islands. I will know the bigger countries. Guadeloupe. One of these. No, that's most... Oh, okay, there we go. Paraguay. Thailand. Azerbaijan. Some news had come out of there lately. I hate them in the Caribbean. Azerbaijan is here. Mozambique is this. Turkmenistan. Yeah. Belarus. You know what's interesting? It's something that comes up whenever with only flags I had 104 countries out of 197 or 194 out of 197. That is impressive. From Vietnam. One thing that always interests me with Belarus is that for whatever reason they list it as a separate state from Russia, but they don't list states like Chechnya as separate from Russia, because Russia and Belarus are in a union state. You know, we call it White Russia. Yeah, I mean that's what Belarusia means. It's just Bielo is white, and then Rus is like Rus, Russia. So it's also White Russia. We just didn't translate the name. Tanzania. Tuvalu. Well, is there any way to full screen this? That's not right. Oh, okay. Tunisia, Libya, Luxembourg, Martinique. You know, my cousin went there a little while ago. Martinique. God dang it. It unironically doesn't help that the dots are covering up the islands, because I know the shape of the islands to an extent. That's Grenada. Okay, Martinique is there. Western Sahara. That's this one. China. Bosnia and Herzegovina. You know, I actually knew somebody from Bosnia and Herzegovina. She's great. I was friends with her in college. It can always counter you in one way or the other. Yeah, that's true. East Timor is this. Palestine. I'm going to zoom in. GeoGuessr said free Palestine. Let's go. I'm clipping that. Croatia. Yeah, I knew somebody in college. She was from Bosnia and Herzegovina. She was incredibly smart. She actually, for her for our capstone, for our bachelor's thesis and all that, um, we did research on. Oh, okay. There's something on different like countries and like their cultures and stuff. We did like different cultural practices or whatever. And she did research on the queer community in Bosnia and Herzegovina, in her home country. America knows as Puerto Rico. Oh yeah, well it's part of the United States, man. And I do have a couple friends who are Puerto Rican. Anguilla. That has to be one of these, right? Oh my god, I was literally one away. Okay. Transnistria. That's this one. Germany, easy money. New Zealand, easy. Montserrat. Okay, it's one of these. I clicked on it often enough. No, god damn it. Ah! It's the islands, man. But yeah, I have a lot of respect for her. I think her name was Hannah. Antigua and Barbuda. Okay. That this? Well, close. That's Barbados. Kind of like. Frustrating. It's okay. I'm not really considering the islands as like strikes against me as far as my knowledge of geography. I know it counts for percentage, but no, Bahrain is here. That's Brunei over there. Monaco is this. Yes. Chad, I remember Chad is the one that actually looks like Chad. You see it? It's like the Chad face. Cameroon, that's this. Norway is here. Vatican City should not exist, in my opinion, but it is there. Lithuania, American Samoa. Okay, let's see if I can find this one. I also clicked on it several times. Cook Islands, French Polynesia. Fuck. American Samoa's there. Okay. Latvia. Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands is one of these. Y'all. Yeah. You know, y'all is just it's a contraction of you all. We have too many time zones. Yeah, if you think we got a lot of time zones, check out Russia, man. I think the United States has The United States has 4 time zones on the lower 48, right? Like the continental US has 4 time zones. More than Russia. Well, technically, the United States is in every time zone if you count embassies and military bases. But the vast majority of Americans live within one of 4 time zones, either East Coast time, Midwest, Mountain, or West Coast. And then Alaska and Hawaii are different time zones. Hawaii is, I'll grant you that it's home to I think 1 million odd people. No, okay, Cayman Islands are here. I was thinking it was one of those tax evasion islands. Feeling offended, lol. I'm sorry, dude. And you said U.S. states for your weakness. I don't know. I don't mean to offend. Well, I do mean to offend people who do genocide apologia, but that is a rare sight in my chat. I do not mean to offend friendly faces such as yourself. Eswatini. That is this one. Yeah. Together with the UK on top, France having the most time zones. Really? Huh. Yeah, I guess that'd be right, because, there's France here, French Guyana. You'd have French Guyana, and then, like, the French territories in the Caribbean. You have French Polynesia. Yeah. Liechtenstein is this little dot here. Armenia is Armenia. St. Vincent and Grenadines, That's gonna be one of these. No, that's St. Kitts and Nevis. Okay, I got it on the third try. How dare you doubt my boy Eswatini? I didn't doubt it. It just took me a second to remember that Eswatini is the small one. Burundi. This is where I start to not remember things as much. No, that's Malawi. Okay, Burundi is there. Ecuador. I know that one. Georgia. That one's pretty easy. I knew a woman from Georgia. She was cool. Costa Rica. I can't see what I'm clicking on. I have to zoom in. Costa Rica is this. Italy. A pizza mama, etc. UAE is here. Sudan. Togo. Okay, hold on. Yes. Ghana, Togo, Benin in order from west to east. Tajikistan. Yes. Benin. Very cool. Jamaica. I know that island. South Ossetia. No, we're doing the breakaway regions. Ah, okay. There we go. Austria. Ain't your usual American anyways. Yeah, it's true. You know most countries in comparison to your casual Americans, but your usual... Yeah. I gotcha. It's been a while since I brushed up on African geography. Not knowing Burundi is offensive. Yeah, very true. Many such cases. Laos is... this one. Yeah, okay. Laos is long. Both begin with L. Curacao? I'm not going to know this one. Not off the top of my head, anyway. But I can make certain reasonable... No. Alright. Myanmar. I know that one. Samoa. Okay, this one always trips me up. I don't know which one of these islands is what. Samoa. No, it's this one. Fuck. Alright. Mali. Sri Lanka. That's this one. Sri Lanka is actually a big country as far as population goes. It's got like 20 million people just on this small island. Equatorial Guinea is this tiny little thing there. The Gambia. This one. Yes. Singapore. That one. See, I know my city-states, interestingly enough. But I don't know my islands. North Macedonia. There we go. Somaliland? That's Somaliland. I didn't know that was still a country. It, like, still... Worst and best flag? I don't know. Best flag, I'm partial to some tricolor flags. As far as best, like, designs go. Although I do actually like the basic design of the flag that, like, Uruguay and Catalonia and the United States have with these stripes here. I like that design. I'm not sure which country I would say just has the best flag. Like, if there's a single country I could describe as having that. That's Papua New Guinea. Uzbekistan is here. Brazil is big. Bangladesh is the 10th lowest elevation country in the world. You said that, and I learned that. Romania is France, but it has to pee. Panama. Here. Okay, Malawi. And then Afghanistan, Seychelles. Okay. One of these... No. Okay. Those island nations are all basically the same to me because they're just tax evasion land. Hungary. Slovakia, we were just talking about them. Ethiopia. British Virgin Islands. Alright, Britain. Where you put all your virgins? Is that one? No, that's Marshall Islands. That's where all the Marshalls live. Little known fact. That's where all the Cooks live. That's Cook Island. Never mind. I'm in the totally wrong area. Okay. So that we've discovered where all the British virgins live, the British Virgin Islands. Honduras. It's one of these. That's Nicaragua. That's Guatemala. No, this is Guatemala. That's Belize. Right? Hold on. No. Fuck. Honduras. Yes. Okay. I mix up these sometimes. Suriname. Okay. Zambia. That's Zambia. Yes. Okay. Burkina Faso. That's this one. Philippines. Fiji. I know it's Fiji's down here somewhere. Zambia a good second for the worst flag? Oh, here, hold on. Zambia flag. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Fiji's somewhere. That's Solomon Island. There's Fiji. Okay. At least I got that epic bird. Yeah, that's true. It's a shame that like a lot of things that look cool on flags are associated with like very fascistic iconography because you know they're cool flags. Jordan is there. Lebanon is up there. Cuba is a cool country. They have a lot of problems and they have like authoritarianism issues, but it's a beautiful country. Ivory Coast. Cote d'Ivoire. That's this one. Okay. Kosovo. That one's over here. Yeah. Belgium doesn't have a functioning government, or maybe they do. I don't know. It's been a little while since I've talked about them. Gabon is this. The Netherlands. That's where 1v3 lives. Peru. That's where one of my friends is from, I think. I don't know if he's from there or if he's just also Peruvian, but like lived in. They don't have a functioning government. Okay, you know, figures, I suppose. Imagine if you clicked Germany instead of the Netherlands. I already clicked Germany, so there was no risk of that. Liberia is this one. There we go. The other one's Sierra Leone. I'd just die. Yeah, true. You would evaporate as for being confused with Germans for the last time. Congo. That's the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is no. That's not it. It's this one. Okay. Cook Islands. I remember that one. That's where all the cooks live. Never mind. That's okay. Serbia. Morocco. Is that even a name? We be them blimmy farming Germans, bro. I somehow got that one right on the first try, which I'm amazed by. Mauritius. That's this one. Never mind. I was gonna click on the right one. But then I didn't. Senegal. Hold on, let me zoom in here. Sierra Leone, right? One of these is Senegal. Haha! Egypt, that one's easy enough. Djibouti is right here. Pakistan, that's a big country. Indonesia, also a very big country. Andorra, city-state. Kyrgyzstan. I always remember Kyrgyzstan because it's the one that looks like a Y. It has that little tail. Palau? I'm not going to know this one. Where are you? You'd probably be one of these island nations, right? Oh, that's New Caledonia. There we go. Okay, that's Palau. Click on France. This one. I'm surprised it actually let me do that. Barbados. Oh, that was that one. Yeah. Botswana is the one that I thought was Zimbabwe at first. Mexico. Okay, this is made up. I refuse to believe that this is real. Oh, I had the wrong group of islands. Okay. Well, San Marino. Okay. San Marino is an interesting case. I don't know how it remained independent. All this time. Some deep fake guy got $80 million from rich people using a mask and accent coach. Luckily, the president of Senegal found out about the trickery because he didn't use you but you. Really? So he because of a minor like grammatical mistake, he was found out. That's interesting. Knowing that actual AI deepfakes exist, we're all screwed. Yeah, there are a lot of ways in which people could fairly or unfairly, what? Oh, like fear. Well, I guess fearmonger suggests like unwarranted, but like people could sort of spread fear-inducing stuff about AI, and sometimes it's not warranted, but I think in this case it is. Um, next thing you know, all countries will become one union made by one goofy 19-year-old using deepfakes. Unironically, that would be a better world than the one we live in right now, and it would be funnier too. I think that oh no, wait, Bonaire's over here. Yeah. I think that the advancement of like machine learning, AI, and deepfakes and such is putting the world into a age of disinformation and misinformation, the likes of which we haven't really seen before. You know, Guam. That's Marshall Islands. That's Micronesia. I'm down here. No. What? Why is it? Okay, whatever. Artsakh. Nagorno Karabakh. Solidarity. Our friends over there. I'm glad they acknowledged them. Dutch Kingdom just as Krakow. Very offensive. Sorry, I don't know Dutch colonial history especially well. That's my view. Algeria. Okay. Bhutan is this one. Abkhazia. Abkhazia, as much as I don't think it's a country that should exist, because like the Russian intervention, whatever, it does have a cool flag. I like that flag. Saint Lucia. That's gotta be one of these. That was close. It's fine, just watch out for any assassins at your door. Yeah, I gotcha. Any men with giant broad shoulders and who are just bigger than me, etc. They grow them big up in the Netherlands. Aruba. I don't know. Oh, okay, that's Aruba, I guess. Switzerland, they do a lot of banking there. India, Cape Verde. I think its name is Cabo Verde. Something like that. Grenada. That's this one. St. Kitts and Nevis. That's Dominican. That's St. Kitts and Nevis. Bolivia. Is there? Turks and Caicos Islands. That's one of these. Okay. Kazakhstan. Mongolia. Very cool. Dominican Republic. That's on the eastern half of this island. Guatemala. Okay, here we go. Here's where things get a little bit more complicated. Guatemala. Okay. United Kingdom, that's easy enough. Guinea-Bissau. Fuck, I forget if it's this one or this. It's one of these two. Okay, that's Guinea. That's Guinea-Bissau. Close enough. Ukraine. The Czech Republic, or also known as Czechia. You know about the football war, by the way. I do not know about that. Please inform me. Rwanda. Uganda is that one. And then Canada's up here. Iraq is over here. Finland. U.S. Virgin Islands. I always forget if the U.S. Virgin Islands over here or okay. Yeah. I was gonna say the British Virgin Islands were over there. Ah, El Salvador. That's this one. Gotcha. I knew there was a country I was missing when I was looking at that earlier. Maldives. New Caledonia. I don't know what that one is. It's one of these. I'm almost positive. Okay, down there. Federated States of Micronesia. There we go. Got that one right. Israel. More like Israel. Because it's real. Probably. I don't know. I've never actually been over there. I don't know if it's real. Everybody could have just been making things up the whole time. French Polynesia. Yeah. Russia. Big boy country. Qatar. Small country. Brunei. Okay, here is Brunei. Pitcairn Islands. The fuck? Cairn sounds like a really dumb accent and somebody's trying to say corn. That's islands, so maybe that. No, that's more. That's okay. South Sudan is Sudan, but south. The Bahamas is this one. Portugal. Ireland. Also a very cool country. Ghana. Dominica. Dominica. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where Dominica is. Like, I don't even have a clue. Oh, it's one of these. There we go. Estonia. Colombia. I don't know why. I clicked on that and it didn't register. Moldova. Trinidad and Tobago. Ah, come on. Zoom in. It's this down here. Yeah. Montenegro. The Black Mountain, as it were. This here. Cambodia. Here. Sierra Leone. Nepal. Australia. South Africa. Mauritania. Venezuela. Belize. Namibia. Haiti. Yemen. Angola. Nicaragua. Kenya. Malaysia. Fucking what? Oh, it's one of the islands. Yeah, there we go. Marshall Islands. Chile. Guyana. South Korea. Saudi Arabia. Guinea. Oman. Sweden. Taiwan. Malta. Greenland. And Madagascar. Yay. Might be a good thing I didn't make another hour-long segment like I did with the War Without Own Blood. Yeah. That one's still going on, by the way. Not Israel. Saudi Arabia and Iran still really don't like each other. Okay. What a good endeavor that was to gauge my skills of geography. We've learned that I'm not very good at island nations, but I don't think that matters too much because island nations are very they don't come up very often on the world stage, and that not usually home to that many people, but they exist. I got most of the other ones. The football war is about the problems between El Salvador and Honduras. From what I remembered, Honduras sent many farmers towards El Salvador who didn't have the space for so many people, and they had some football games against each other, making all kinds of assessments during those matches, causing the countries to eventually go to war. Luckily, the United Nations of the Americas stopped El Salvador destroying the Honduran capital. You made a mistake on Zimbabwe? Yeah, I know. I said I got most of the other ones. I briefly blanked on which one of these was Zimbabwe and which one was Botswana. So I clicked this one first, and then it is literally the first country that it asked me to do, and I clicked this, and then I was like, oh, it's the one next to it. Got it. But I knew it was one of these. What else did I mess up? Guinea-Bissau. I thought that one was Guinea. Just regular Guinea. I think outside of a couple in Africa, the only one I messed up were island nations. Pretty cool. Congo, oof. Yeah, I thought, okay. I mixed this one up with Central African Republic. And then Burundi, I messed up with Malawi. Made a lot of French colonies sad. Yeah, well, yeah, they're French colonies. They're colonies, so I don't need to care very much. Haha, funny. Alright. That was cool. I like that quiz. Pretty cool. You know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do the US states one, because I already know all my states. Yeah. Not much point in it. Anything new on the, I don't? Well, then maybe let's do the US states quiz. Geo... Yes, sir. US states. What fun. Click on North Dakota. That's in the north. New Mexico. That one is next to Mexico. Georgia looks like the Moai head. Montana is big. New York is over here. Everybody knows. Tennessee actually has a pretty cool flag. I kind of like that. Missouri. This one. Washington State. Not to be confused with DC. Washington is way up in the northwest. Colorado is the other rectangle one. That's not Wyoming. Wyoming is this one. Arizona is here in the south. Iowa is this one. Arkansas is here. I remember in like middle and high school geography, what they taught us for the U.S. states, Mississippi is this, is that there are a bunch of states that look like a chef standing up. Nebraska is this one. It looks like a fat panhandle thing. South Dakota is under North Dakota. Idaho is this one. Utah is where all the Mormons live. I say that jokingly, but Utah has the largest Mormon population in the United States, and it is the only state in the U.S. where Mormons are a majority, religiously speaking. Michigan is the one that looks like a mitten, and this is also part of Michigan, which is weird. And then Wisconsin is next to Michigan. Maine is all the way in the northeast. West Virginia is just west of Virginia. Nevada is next to California. Rhode Island is the smallest state. Hawaii is in the middle of the ocean. Maryland looks dumb. Only in Ohio. Yeah. New Jersey looks like a smaller East Coast California. Pennsylvania looks like it's the most rectangle state on the East Coast, I think, except for like these two, but those are really small. Alabama is in the deep south. Oklahoma looks like actually like a cooking pot. Wyoming is the rectangle state where nobody lives. Seriously, only 500,000 people live in Wyoming, and I think a couple million people live in Colorado. Texas, everybody knows Texas. Virginia, that's where I live. Kentucky is next to Virginia. And it looks like a smaller, flatter, or not smaller, but like flatter version of Virginia. North Carolina is right under Virginia. And it looks like almost like an inverted version of put it upside down. Connecticut is next to New York. Everybody probably knows where Florida is, more or less. Illinois is right next to the chef. Massachusetts is up here. California, everybody knows that one too, I think. Vermont, that's where Bernie Sanders is from. The American people are tired of women. He didn't actually say that. I said that. But it was in his voice, which makes it funny. Oregon is on the coast. Alaska. New Hampshire. Kansas is the classic Dust Bowl Tornado Alley state. Minnesota is the chef's hat. Delaware, that's where Joe Biden's from. Fuck. Clicked on the wrong thing. Indiana is that one. South Carolina. Louisiana is the chef's shoe. He's the chef, and Iowa is his head. Minnesota is his hat. That's his coat and his pants and his shoe. Funny little pneumatic device. It's a shame they didn't put Puerto Rico on the list. Well, I guess Puerto Rico isn't a state; it's a colonial territory. Yeah. There's a couple states. I feel like there's a couple states that you should know in the international community. There's a couple states that I think that like they are relevant politically because some like political changes start stirring up in there. Some of the Midwest states you should know like generally where they are. And then of course, you know, there's New York, there's Florida, there's California, which people mostly know, and Texas as well. And then like maybe New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Those are the states where I think the most relevant like political stuff happens with respect to national politics. There's a bit of what's called the Rust Belt up here. You know, Ohio, Michigan, a little bit of Pennsylvania, and then some stuff on the East Coast. But yeah, the US is also, it's very not densely populated. More people live in New York City than live in the entire state of Virginia. Yeah, and New York City has more people than the rest of the state combined. So half of the population of New York is just New York City. Anywho, this has been GeoGuessr for the day, which is a very fun, fantastical adventure in the middle of a quite tonally dissonant episode of like Israel Palestine, which is nice, I guess. Nice to break from. I'm keeping appraised of the situation as it unfolds live. Palestinian death toll is up to almost 700, 687 to be precise. Hamas open to truce, says senior official. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. This seems significant enough for me to comment on. Israel has ordered Gaza to be completely blockaded for food, fuel, and electricity to be cut from there. Here we go. You can see that in the live feed. They've mobilized a lot of reservists, and a lot of people are dead. But now Hamas is actually saying that they're prepared to have a truce. Hamas is open to discussions over a possible truce with Israel, having, quote, achieved its targets, a senior official has said. I did it without listening, to be clear. Okay. I gotcha. So, Arsuk, hold Al Jazeera. How did it go for you? I got all 50 states. In a phone interview that Hamas was open to something of that sort and to all political dialogues when asked whether the group is willing to discuss a possible ceasefire. He also said that Hamas had captured tens of dual citizens from Israel, including those with Russian and Chinese citizenship. You got 43%? That's fine. I mentioned this earlier. Hey, Open Brian, just checking in. Yeah, I've been welcome to chat. First time chat. It's nice to see it. I've been keeping appraised of the situation in Israel-Palestine, and to 1v3, there's only a few U.S. states that I think you should know if you're like in the international community, or just like regions. Aside from the three that people probably know already, being like California, Texas, and like Florida, people could probably point to those on a map, or at least the general area. And then I think the other one The other ones are like you should know where the Rust Belt is. You don't need to necessarily know any of the state names, but just the region of the Rust Belt. And then like know kind of where the Midwest is, like what that means. Uh and then New York too. And you don't really need to know all the states besides that. It's not like the difference between one state or another is not as significant as the difference between one country and another. I think in Europe, uh, at least not as far as like travel is concerned. Like you can cross state borders easily. There's no border enforcement state to state because it's regions within a country. Oh no, Lord, building the kibbutz. That's not good. I actually really like the kibbutz. The kibbutzes. The kibbutz are communities in Israel, little tiny anarchist socialist communities or like quasi socialistic communities in Israel. In fact, I think some of the founding statements for them was that there should be no employees and no employers. There should be no oppressors and oppressed. There has to be a better way, which is like classic hopeful socialist vision. Uh, Sad to see that that's being attacked now. We'll see. We will see if Israel takes Hamas up on their offer of truce. I doubt if they will, but you know, frankly, I don't think that Israel will, because I think that Israel is just committed to its objectives here. Its objectives being mostly like, well, Palestinian eradication. You know, I guess this is part of like the just world fallacy or whatever it's called, where you want to believe that the world is better than it is. It's always hard to like recognize that in words. You know, even when everybody kind of looks at the situation and sees more or less the same thing, and we all look at each other and we have the mutual understanding and whatnot, it's hard to then say like, yeah, Israel wants to commit genocide against Palestinians, because that phrase and saying something like that carries a lot of weight, you know. And so now it's like saying that in response to it actually happening is it's its own weight on the situation. I also like look. I'll be real. There is a little bit of a crass motive for me to not say anything too drastic, so I don't get banned on Twitch or whatever. But you know, it is what it is, and what it is not good. It's another Nakba waiting to happen. Nakba being the Arabic word for catastrophe. And I think some officials in the Israeli government, if not Netanyahu himself, saying that their objective here is a second Nakba. Of course, the first Nakba being one where hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced from their homes and communities to make way for Jewish-Israeli settlement. So, you know, no good. No good at all. I should be training Torchic. I named him Ivan because of Crazy Ivan. I think that's like a cute name to have. Damn, why does politics have to make me so tired? Why can't I just be a moral black hole that runs for political office and then gets elected and be a politician whose only concern is like, I don't know, lobbying money and like getting reelected and stuff? Why must I be burdened with the weight of knowing that some things are good and some things are bad? Jeez. I don't remember if actually I don't remember if the gym leaders levels have been increased in this game, but I'm gonna assume that they've been upped slightly. You know, like by maybe 1 or 2. And if that's not the case, then that's fine, I guess. I kind of just wanted to get Abra leveled up quickly enough to 16 so that it can become Kadabra and like actually start doing stuff on its own. That'd be good. Hero. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have sent it out against. Okay, never mind. It worked out. 55 EXP. Okay, so pretty close. Whismer. A lot of Whismer. There we go. Level 15. Okay, let's go challenge the Jin. This seems like a good time to going across. I wonder if that segment is done up. Nope, 2 hours still. I'm gonna do a little bit of description editing on the video that's uploading. Glory to Hamas? No, sorry. No, actually, 00 Strudy. Welcome to chat, but we don't condone that kind of talk here. I'll give you a warning because that was literally your first message, but any more of that. Glory to Israel? There we go. That's the both sidesism that I want. Glory to the bad guys. In fact, I did see that Hamas is willing to take a truce with Israel, which I think goes to their credit. Obviously, I'm not aligned with them in any way, really, but I think if there's any avenue for civilians to stop dying, I think that should happen. That'd be pretty good, I think. And wait for the ethnic cleansing. Ah, yes, sarcasm. Yeah. Yeah, it unfortunately seems like that is what's happening currently in Palestine. Sent you the states results? All right, cool. Let me take a look. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I'd say you know just about what you need to know about the U.S. like in terms of like what certain states are what. That's pretty good. And the you know, the ethnic cleansing that you refer to there, it's you know, it's relevant to bring up. It seems like that ethnic cleansing has been going on for like ever since Israel has been a state. It seems like it's just been going longer and longer and longer. Some were guessed, some were misclicked, so that balances things out. Yeah, I'd say so. You know, the ethnic cleansing over in Palestine has been going on since the creation of the state of Israel, which is it's a real shame. But now with Israel having lain in wait for and then responded to the attacks from Hamas, it seems like now they have like the excuse they were looking for to take this from an ethnic cleansing of gradual forced displacement to a much more overt genocide with some mass killings potentially. Again, I mentioned earlier on stream the bombing of apartment buildings and Israel saying that it would be willing to go through hostages that are citizens of its own country just to invade the Gaza Strip. You know? Seems like this is going to be politics for the next few weeks. I think, in fact, in just the next week, we will probably see what's going to become of this. I think that the first few days of this conflict are the most important, and that's going to set the tone. Kind of like the first few days, or first few weeks, I guess, of the Ukraine conflict. It's not exactly the same. Obviously, in Ukraine, things took a little bit longer to sort of get into a more stable position where there was like kind of a military stalemate or whatever. But I think, you know, here with the differing goals of like Israel wants to kill all Palestinians, and then like Hamas, I think probably would, if they could, they would kill all the Jewish people, but they don't have that power. I think we're going to see in the next couple of days what is going to take shape. And you know, like I said earlier, unfortunately, it looks like Israel is going to get the genocide that they wanted, which is the bad endings, shall we say. Double battle. Oh boy. Yeah, they're both level 8. Okay. Can't use teleport in a trainer battle. Oh, jeez. Okay. This is working out alright for me in game here. God, man. You know what this reminds me of? I was talking earlier, I don't know if this is going to go in the segment that I'm planning to edit later, but, you know, I was talking about that the Egyptian intelligence ministry had reached out to Israel and actually warned them of the incoming attack from Hamas. I initially, it came from a source that I was somewhat skeptical of, but I went digging, and the New York Post and the Times of Israel and the Times of India confirmed it, which, again, still kind of sketchy. But then the Times of India cited as their source the Associated Press, which in turn makes it all the more credible. Like, they had called Netanyahu to warn of the impending Hamas attack. And this was 10 days before the attack, and Netanyahu did nothing. And according to the Ministry of Intelligence in Egypt, he showed like indifference to the warning. All of the it seems like a similar degree of reasoning or a similar intentionality could be assigned here as to the like conspiracy theorists about 9/11. Yeah, I got you 1v3. Where it was like, oh, the government actually wanted it to happen, so they would have an excuse to do blah blah blah. In 9/11, like with the case of 9/11, there's no evidence of that whatsoever. But here it seems like there is a very real possibility that that's how it all went down. That you know me so well, 1v3. You know that's exactly what I said. This is different music. Seems like all the conspiracies that people could say about 9/11 was an inside job, it was on purpose or whatever, you could apply that more or less to these attacks by Hamas and got them 43k points for nothing. That's absolutely right. And in the case of the Israel and Palestine conflict, it would actually be warranted, where Israel did, with a certain degree of intentionality, allow these attacks to take place in the hopes that they would justify further reprisal against Palestine. You know, here we are living in that unfortunate state of things. I'm gonna need a different Pokemon to be out first, I think. So obviously it's Geodude. Aerodactyl. I don't know if there's gonna be much I can do about this guy. No, poor guy. Let's Okay. That works out. Anarim. Okay. That also works out. So, seems like, what's her name? The gym leader here has all 8 of her party slots filled. Use KO? Okay, yes. Burn Peck. Ooh. I like that move. Aaron. No, don't do that. Dang it. Nose pass. Okay, it seems like I'm gonna get out stamina'd here by the gym leader. I'm gonna level grind a little bit more. That didn't go especially well. You know, what can you expect, I guess? Minutes about. Jeez, thousands of. Holy shit, man. 44 minutes ago at 18:13 GMT. Thousands of Gaza residents take refuge in UN schools. Since the Israeli raids on the Gaza Strip began on Saturday, more than 73,000 Palestinian residents have left their homes, take shelter in UN refugee agency schools. According to Adnan Abu Hasna, media spokesperson for the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA. People are arriving from all parts of the Gaza Strip as the area faces intense aerial bombing. But Abu Hasna warned that some of the schools have been struck in the bombings, which means there is no safe place in Gaza, he said. Yeah. Human Rights Watch and all sorts of human rights groups are decrying Israel for their various war crimes here and saying that Israel is committing war crimes. You know, it took them long enough, but yeah, here we go. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say took them long enough. Funnily enough, for how I will sometimes criticize human rights groups for being like slow on the uptake, the Israel-Palestine conflict is one of the few areas where I think they are more often than not they're on the money. Where they'll say like this is an apartheid regime, Israel's committing war crimes and crimes against international law against Palestinian people, and it's really what it falls to, I think, is more states not willing to heed the words of human rights orgs. You know, they're sort of in, you know, as again, you know, as much as I critique the liberal world order, within this world order, human rights orgs kind of function as our political, like, moral compass. Like, we trust them to a degree to say what is good and what is bad. Saw a clip of an Israeli guy on the news saying, I'm 55 years old and I know nothing else than war. Yeah, you know, this situation, as, you know, is sad for a lot of Israeli folks, too. I know, you know, this is, as one-sided as the power imbalance is, civilians on both sides of the political divide here have been injured and killed by attacks and bombings and like gunfire and whatever. And I think Israel does a massive disservice to its own people by subjecting them to a constant state of war and potential mobilization, by antagonizing Palestine for no other reason than they exist. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the human rights orgs. You know, we trust the human rights orgs to a degree within, you know, within the existing order, which we can criticize, but we can sort of look at them as at least a good proxy for a moral compass. You know, we trust them to say what things are good and what things are bad, which things are rights that people deserve to live a good life, and what is a violation of those rights. What is a violation of human dignity? You know, what's bad that inhibits people from living that kind of from a good life. And you know, we've seen time and again they're willing to act the part of that moral compass to pretty good effect and pretty good consistency a lot of times. And then the nation states of the world, who are host to some of these human rights orgs at times, take their words and ignore them functionally. You know, sometimes countries will do the whole song and dance of like, oh no, that's bad. Anyways, we're not going to change anything. You know, such is the case, I think, with the United States. The United States, by virtue of having a whole lot of power and also by virtue of supporting business interests above all else, the United States has done a lot of human rights violations. Israel has done a veritable menagerie of human rights violations. Russia, China, you know, every country that has like a deep history of involvement outside of their own borders has done human rights violations. You know, and I think that motivates them to not act on human rights violations when other countries do them, because then they know that the buck is going to eventually come back to them. Yeah. And at the risk of being doomer, it's kind of like there's not much we can do. You know, it seems like the democracy, the state of democracy in the United States and in Western countries kind of stops when it comes to foreign policy. It's like that seems to be one of the areas that doesn't even have a veneer of being dictated by democratic principles, you know, where in the United States, like, and in Israel, supposedly they care about human rights, but, you know, not so much to stop the ongoing genocide in Palestine. Or not that much. And hell, I mean, we want to talk about human rights violations. You know, we can talk about Israel and Palestine all day. And, you know, the sickening degree to which Israel is motivated to commit genocide against Palestinians is such that they are willing to violate the human rights of their own citizens if it gets them to that end objective of genocide faster. I don't know if any of that's going to go in the segment. I think I planned for the segment to just be like my initial comments on the matter, and then the outburst I had at the one guy. And then that's probably it. In the meantime, actually having everybody at level 16 is going to be so much better than having everybody at level 15. Because, yeah, here we go. Torchic evolves at level 16 and learns Double Kick. And, of course, Abra evolved at level 16 and learned Confusion. So now, instead of having just one Pokemon that's capable of, like, doing anything against the gym leader's team, I now have 3. And 3 versus 8 is a lot better odds than, like, 1.5 versus 8. And, you know, add to that I have, like, the stats, stat investment on my Pokemon, and they're leveled up past the point of the gym leader, and I think that increases my odds significantly. But with all that said, I think I'm probably going to go in with Ivan first, Combuskin, and I'll take it from there. Alright, so far so good. Let's now use Tailo in one of the few instances where I would get to do that. Alright, Geodude, let's send in Combuskin again. Aerodactyl, let's send in Kadabra for that. Use Confusion. Alright, well then. Larvitar, that's a pretty easy decision. And Yasmin. Lily. Maybe Maria? Arden. Okay, that actually ended up working out. Kind of surprised. I was expecting it to use a Rock-type move and kind of wipe me clean off of the face of this earth. More or less. Rock Tomb, okay, makes sense. And alright, there we go. Aeron and Combuskin can take care of that with Double Kick. Wow, that was a lot easier than I actually thought it was gonna go. And I still have much more to learn. Alright, and I got the stone badge. Very nice. Heightens the attack power of your Pokemon. Enables you to use the HM Cut outside of battle. And I got TM39, Rock Tomb. Now, I know that one of the cool changes in this ROM hack is that TMs are reusable. At least I'm pretty sure. Okay, maybe not. Never mind. Maybe that's not a thing. Let's see. No, it is. Reusable TMs. So actually, I can test this out too. They didn't change the stats on Rock Tomb, which is unfortunate. But if I boot this up and teach it to Combuskin instead of Focus Energy, there we go, I still have TM39 Rock Tomb. Okay, very good, very good. That's nice. Now I've got another move in my repertoire. And I think I shall switch Sai out front. And I'll be on my way. Get out of the way. Oh, Team Aqua Grunt is running away. Wait, please don't take my goods. All caps. That's actually really funny to me that he's like, no, please don't take my goods, and the word goods is in all caps. It's like, what did he take? What are the goods? What are those goods that he took from you? Oh, it's you. You're that fantastic trainer who helped me out in Petalburg Woods. Helped me. I was robbed by Team Aqua. I got to get the Devon Good. Okay. So they stole his boss's stuff. However, the implication of what I joked about earlier is much funnier, and I choose to believe that instead. Once again, because it is funnier. What am I to do? We were on our walk, Pico and I. We were jumped by an odd thug. Scoundrel made off with my darling Pico, and it roar Pico. Cool. Alright. I will go rescue your friend Pico. It is a Wingull. Team Aqua Battle. Let's go. And that was it. Alright, I got the Devon Goods. Very cool. Okay, and so that... Oh my god. I think the cool air is making me yawn a little bit. So then now... I can go. I have to actually go back to the Devon office first to talk to somebody because I think they give me a thing. And then I can go south of Petalburg Woods, and Mr. Briny will transport me to Dewford City. Or Dewford Town? Dewford Town, I think. Not Dewford City. These guys don't have to. I wonder when you get the HM for cut. Oh no, I think I know what's going on. Okay, I could technically already have gotten the HM for cut, but it's in a house in Rustboro City that I didn't visit yet. So I'm gonna go do that now. 7 goods. Great ball, and okay, I come with them to the office. Devon Corporation. And then he gives me something to deliver in Slateport, I think? What's up, Mr. President? Okay, he gives me a letter. And he gives me a Pokénav. Very cool. That's the, telephone-adjacent item of this game. Generation 2 and the Gen 4 remakes had, the Pokégear. And Generation 3 and the Gen 6 remakes have the Pokénav, which lets you call people for various purposes. But the one that I think I always have cared about or the two functions that I care about most with the PokeNav and the Pokegear are calling trainers for rematches, and that includes gym leaders, and calling trainers for items. Sometimes people will give you their phone number, and you can call them to get a rematch, or you can call them to get an item that sometimes you couldn't get if not for that person. Some of these being evolution items. He gives me match call. There we go, so go to the PokeNav. Match call. And there's the president. I'm calling the CEO of the biggest company in Hoenn, I guess. Alright, very cool. He tells me about his ecological concerns with the Rust Turf Tunnel. Very, very cool, thank you. Yeah. Now let's look for cut. I think it's in this building? No, it is not. Different building. This one. Yeah. Hidden machine. There we go. HM01 cut. I have to have the stone badge to use it. Good thing I already have the stone badge. And this is 70 power, 100 accuracy, normal type. And what they added to this game is that HMs are actually forgettable. You can get rid of them. So I'm gonna actually teach this to Ivan. I don't know what move I want to replace though. I could actually. I think I will do without Peck. I already have a flying type, and I have better flying type coverage available. There we go. Now Combuskin knows cut. There's an optional rival battle here. It's not actually mandatory, I think, but I will do it. Your match call feature. Alright, let's register each other. Yeah, there we go. They actually give you the option to say no, which is really, which was really nice. Very cool. Thank you, game. Get that Torkoal out of there. Very good. Very cool. And she still only has a Mudkip. The rival battles in this game, and by this game I mean like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and some of the affiliated Emerald ROM hacks that don't change all too much, are not very difficult. They're pretty easy. Exception being like the first rival battle, because it's like, well, no, even then, but the rival in this game is a little bit further behind you in terms of skill level and like literal their Pokemon levels and how many Pokemon they have than in other games. Actually, while I'm out here, I can also go up on this ledge here, which I might do, and then I will end the stream because it's getting almost that time. I don't know what Nature Power does in this situation. And it's Swift. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Nice. Resist Occupation, thank you very much for the follow. It's a shame you had to be catching the stream right near its end. Quite a bit of stuff happened this stream. Of course, the VOD will be up on this Twitch channel afterwards, and I will be exporting it to YouTube, and there will be a segment to come out of this. So if you're interested in my take on the conflict, I don't think I'm equipped to give it in just a minute and a couple seconds, but you will get a much more full account of it later. I'll watch you when you're live in the future, comrade. Thank you. Always nice to see a new face. What are these guys doing? Cool random school kids? Alright. Nice. Level 18. Nice. Let's go. Actually, I don't think there's anything over there. I think it's just this item. Yeah, there we go. Alright. I'm gonna go heal, and then I will end the stream. ESPSPS. Top 10 phrases to say if you want to simultaneously indicate your support for Palestine and also to summon a cat friend. Very cool, thank you. I'm gonna save the game here. Thank you for tuning in. Resist Occupation, once again, thank you for the follow. I look forward to potentially seeing you in the future, although obviously you don't have to watch if you don't want to. Yeah, and I'm gonna go see who else is live. It might not be political content. It might just be somebody else that I have rated in the past or whatever. I might get my account banned by Twitch, but I'll find you later. Yeah, okay. Here's a disclaimer. I have critiques of Hasan. I know 1v3 does as well. I'm not going to raid him, but he is currently covering Israel-Palestine right now. And I think he's one of the, like, this is one of the areas where Hasan is very often, more so than not, on the money. Been banned 3 times in the last day. Jeez, that's kind of rough. Anyways. Calm down there, comrade. Yeah, it looks like nobody I really know is live, so no raid this time. I'll just be back on, well, today is Monday, so Wednesday I'll be back. Have a good one.